Hey guys, I had a couple thoughts that I've been thinking about actually for like the last 30 or 45 minutes, and I didn't have time to do a live before I left the house, and so I'm recording this and then I'm driving, so I won't be looking at the camera, so just bear with me. But okay, so first off, I am like a pro at reaching out to people that I don't know, like cold messaging people I don't know, especially off of like Tumblr or Instagram. I've just now started venturing into as far as messaging people, but I do like comment on their posts. And I actually got in contact with a lady the other day. I follow an Instagram, a fibromyalgia page on Instagram, and there was a post on there the other day, I believe it was yesterday, maybe the day before, of a testimony of a girl who has fibromyalgia and a handful of other things. So I read the story, and of course it was a heartbreaking story. I hate reading stories like that. The people are just in so much pain, it hurts to move and it hurts to breathe, basically. But anyways, there was about 40 comments on there of people who had fibromyalgia or fibromyalgia plus da-da-da-da-da. Sometimes, some of them were one other thing. There was one lady on there that had a list of like 5 or 6 things. So I had commented on there and mentioned about fibromyalgia being gut health related, and a friend of mine finding relief. She had fibro and lupus and was able to drop some of her meds very quickly and find relief with these natural supplements. And so somebody had commented back and tagged me and asked what they were. So I private messaged her on Instagram. Well, Instagram limits the amount of characters you can send in a private message. So obviously the long, lengthy information that we give people normally through Facebook, we can't do that through Instagram. We connected on Facebook and went from there. But, so I went back to that post today because I was remembering all of the comments of people who had fibromyalgia plus these other health issues. And so I read the girl's story again, and then I kind of skimmed over the comments again and kind of started making notes to do research, because some of the stuff I had never heard of. Like CFS-ME. CFS is chronic fatigue syndrome, and the ME, I cannot remember what it stands. I wrote it down, but it's not registering in my head right now what it is. But basically very, very, very miserable. Very miserable people. And so I kind of started making notes to do research so that I could reach out to these people. But as I said, I went back and read this girl's story. And then so I clicked on her profile because I wanted to follow her just to kind of get an understanding as far as what goes on in her life, her day-to-day life. She's a teacher, and it said 4 to 5 years old, which would be like kindergarten. She's over in England, so their grades probably run different than ours. But she had a blog, a website blog page, and so I went and read that, and I read the first entry, or the last entry, which was in May, that she has. And y'all, I was almost in tears. Like, my heart honestly breaks for this girl, for how miserable she is on a day-to-day basis, and the fact that she's a teacher. I have a 5-year-old. I know how hard one is. I can only imagine a classroom full every single day, especially feeling the way she was feeling. So I did reach out to her. I did a little bit of research. Like I said, I went to her blog to kind of get a little bit more. And I will post a screenshot in the comments of this video of how I went about doing this. And so the whole reason I wanted to make this video, all of that into this, was that along with her fibromyalgia, she had other issues. And so I wanted to tell you guys that when you are reaching out to people like this, be careful and be mindful of your words. And I especially did this with the other lady that I was talking to from Instagram, because she had a list of like 6 different health issues. But I was very mindful to not make her feel like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, feel horrible, like, oh, well, you have health issues. Oh my gosh, you have so many health issues. Oh my, you know what I mean? Like, be mindful in your words as to not make people feel that way, because they know they have a lot going on, but you don't want to make them feel like, well, you have so much going on, oh my gosh, kind of thing, you know? And so I think with this girl, I think I did say health issues, and that's something that I probably shouldn't have said. I try to steer clear of that. I usually try to say health concerns, or I say with, what's another term that I use? I I can't remember right off the top of my head, but just be mindful, especially these people who have more than 1 or 2 health conditions. I don't say health conditions. That's one thing I do not do. I do not say health conditions. I don't say disease. Most of the time I do use the words health concerns. Or I'll use, if it's just one thing, I will use it, that name. So like fibromyalgia, I'll say fibro, or like IBS, I'll say IBS, obviously. Arthritis, I'll abbreviate it, put ART, or if it's like osteoarthritis, which is in your back, I'll put OA. So if there's abbreviation or like a shortened term for it, I will use that just to let them know that I'm comfortable with it. Even though I don't have it myself, I'm familiar with it, or familiar enough that I'm comfortable talking about it. And so that kind of puts them at ease a little bit too, but just be careful in your wording. There was something else that I was going to talk to you guys about, and now of course I can't remember because I got caught up on that. But anyway, I will, oh, another thing, and I may have already said this, I apologize if I repeat this, but I told you I'm driving, but I did not mention Plexus anywhere in that message. Not one thing. I told her that I read her story and it kind of tugged at my heartstrings a little bit, and then I went on to her profile, and then from there went to her blog. And so that's gonna say that, and told her that I did research on some of it too. And so that tells her that I'm in it to, like, I'm actually doing the work to actually get to know her, or what her life is like and what's going on with her, versus I see the word fibromyalgia and boom, that's a paycheck for me, you know. Like, make them feel like you are dedicated to actually helping them, which is what we're doing anyway. But a lot of times when we cold message people, especially if it's somebody like this that we don't know, they think in their head they're just trying to sell me something. And that's not what we want to do. And that's one thing that I try to do when I cold message people. And Jennifer Wolf actually posted in a group that we're in today a video, and maybe she posted it yesterday, but I'm gonna get it and put it in here, because it talks about that exactly. It talks about whenever you're inviting people in to talk about your business or even the products or anything like that, you don't put labels on it, don't put brand names on it. Get them interested in what you have to offer first, and then carry on later on into what it actually is. And so that's something I'm trying to instill in my messages. And I've never before gone, oh my gosh, Plexus can help you so much, you know, get with me, da 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 da. I've always talked about how I feel like these products can help you. They're called Plexus, or, you know, depending on how the conversation starts, if it starts in a thread, like a comment thread on somebody's page, or if I directly message them. But I always try not to bring Plexus up in the beginning, and that's something I'm going to focus on more from here on out. Because people hear Plexus and they're like, oh, she's just trying to sell me something. And that's with any MLM, your Rodan & Fields, Unique, it works, any of that. So just be mindful of that when you're reaching out to people as well. You want to get them interested and want to get them to learn more about what you have to offer versus just the name. Like, we want to offer them Plexus and the Plexus way, and the business and the comp plan and the camaraderie and everything that we have, but we want them to get interested in that first before they know that it's Plexus. So it's kind of like going to the doctor and the doctor saying, okay, well, I've got this great medication for you. It's going to do this and this and this for you. It's going to relieve this symptom for you. You're not going to have this. You're not going to have this. It's something you've been suffering for 6 months, okay? Okay, great. No, I love it. Okay, what's it called? It's something like that. Because people are going to hear brand names and they're going to immediately put up a block, or they're going to tune half of what you say out and not be willing to actually listen to what you have to say first before throwing in the name. So just be mindful of those things when y'all are reaching out to people. And if you need help with wording on anything, like I said, I am a master at messaging people that I don't know. A master. Jennifer even told me that. Jennifer Wolf told me that the other day. She was like, you are a pro at talking to strangers on social media. Yes, I am. Like, it just, this message was one of the first ones in a very long time I was nervous to send. Because first off, she's in England, and so their social network, the way people approach people, their mindset, everything like that is totally different than what we have over here. most of our stuff over here, our way of life basically over here, is based on social media, text messaging, stuff like that, and theirs may not be over there. So that was, I was really, really nervous about this one, but I felt good once I sent the message. So like I said, I will send a screenshot in the comments of this video, and then y'all kind of read through it, tell me your thoughts on it, and then if you want me to help you word anything, if you're reaching out to somebody, especially that has like a specific diagnosis or something like that, then let me know and I'll be more than happy to do that with you. So y'all remember Ashley's call is in about an hour. I will not be on it. Wednesdays are usually my night off because I have a pottery class I've been going to for 2 years, and it's on Wednesday nights. So y'all make sure and jump on that, and then I will hook up with y'all later. Y'all have a good night.